What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Pokemon Purveyors podcast. It is so good to have all of you here back with us once again. I am one of your hosts here, PokeNav, aka Shad. I prefer to go by Shad. And I have my fellow purveyor here with me, as always, Jules, otherwise known as Collecting with Jules. What is going on, my friend?
Dude, wow. Slow week. Slow week. Did you feel I don't know. The beginning of 2021, it's been slow in terms of Pokemon. I saw a couple of things creeping down on prices, people getting a bit antsy. They're like, when is
Mm.
Shining Fates coming out? I think we got everything in the pipeline here for today's episode, guys. Welcome back. We are pumped. I'll pass the word back to Shad. He's got the first topic ready. We're ready to go.
Thank you, Jules. So I figure what we'll go ahead and do is, as Jules said, we are really slow on news for this week. There is not a whole lot of information, but we are getting closer to the release of Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master, which, if you guys don't know by now, that is the Japanese equivalent to our battle styles. And that's releasing really soon, January 22nd. It is right around the corner. And we're getting closer to the full set list for that particular set. Now, we always get a lot of our information from PokeBeach, and we won't go through all of it here today, but there were some interesting cards that were recently revealed. We do have a Clay Doll, which I have always kind of been a fan of Clay Doll. I feel like that was one of the first kind of inanimate object type of Pokemon. And now it's just kind of proliferated throughout the hobby. We also have some energy recycler reprints coming in here as well. We're also getting a Colossal card. It seems like Colossal's been getting a lot of attention through recent sets. I think it was in maybe Darkness Ablaze that he was a secret rare card, if I'm not mistaken. In this one, he's just a regular card. I don't even think he is a hollow. But Colossal making another return. We're also getting a Tapu Koko VMAX. That's probably one of the I would say more sought after cards, or will be a sought after card, which it looks pretty cool. And again, I know this is, you guys can't see any of this, but if you want to take a look at these cards, you can always hop on over to PokeBeach and check it out there. Now, that's pretty much it. It was basically a week of reveals for cards being released for Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master. Thus far, though, what I want to talk to you about, Jules, is now that we've seen all the cards released up until now, um, I want to get your idea on what you think the chase card is going to be for
Hmm.
this. Now, I already have my opinion on it. I think you do too. But let's go ahead and relay that to everyone listening. What we think the big money grab card is going to
Hmm.
be for this.
Yeah. Um I don't know. I don't know why. I feel like it's like underwhelming. 2021, we want to start it off with a bang, and I feel like there's some underwhelming stuff coming up. And I don't want to be a buzzkill on this set, but I
Hmm.
don't collect Japanese cards, so for me, it doesn't really change anything. But at the end of the day, um, according to PokeBeach, and when you do look at the cards, they actually do look really awesome. I think we're on the same boat here when it comes to that. Those that Urshifu VMAX um, for single strike and then for rapid strike, just like the nice combination that it has in terms of the color. I think the color is going to be a really good um, selling point for this set, at least. But then again, like you said, Colossal, Clay Doll, like Clay Doll to me, I think it was Darkness Ablaze. Like you said, I got that card. I'm like, but why is there a pot? And then we had like Sinisty and all those things. Like, what are we like? Beauty and the Beast here with like the teacup and everything. It's just like I don't know what's going on. I don't
Everything's
know what.
coming alive. Everything's becoming a
Just
Pokemon.
that's it. That's it. We're gonna get some like tables in the future, the chairs and stuff. Like it's gonna be something crazy. But guys, no, for real though, the Urshifu, for sure, super nice. Just like covering the full card, the full art versions of them. I'm taking them a look at them now just to get a really clear picture. But like they look badass. That's the
Mhm.
word. They look badass. So
They
that's
really
that's
do.
probably where my mindset is at for this set.
Yeah, and I've said it before, they almost give me, especially the Rapid Strike card, it almost gives me, the vibes of, like, Dragon Ball Z, like, that looks to me like a Dragon Ball Z villain there that is going, like, if you guys are familiar with, like, the new incarnation of Dragon Ball Super, and, the characters going into their god form,
Hmm.
that is what this Urshifu looks like to me. And then on top of that, you've got a horde of Cramorant that are trying to escape from Urshifu, and yeah. I would say at this point, I'm right on par with you. I think that that's probably going to be the big chase card thus far, because outside of that, we're that's the funny thing is we are not far. By the time this episode drops, which will be on uh, what this will be on the what day will this episode drop, Jules? This will be
Oh,
on the
not the 17, the 16. No,
15th. I think it's dropping on
15.
the 15th.
Yes.
15th. So we've got, in fact, a week from the day of this video dropping, will be the single strike and rapid strike master. So, man, we're getting close, and the set list is a little underwhelming. I mean, some of the cards that they've revealed thus far, in my opinion, are pretty nice. They're nice cards, but there's also a lot of reprints in here as well.
Hmm.
From what we've seen, a lot of cards that are reprints, just kind of an alternative art for those cards. Um, and the nice thing is, whenever we see the set list for these two, we'll know what we're getting for battle styles. So it always gives us an indication of what's to come for the rest of the world. And I'd have to say, thus far, I would say this Urshifu VMAX, specifically the Rapid Strike card,
Yeah.
that's got to be the chase card thus far. And I mean, that being said, I think they did a great job with this card. It really is a beautiful card. Um, but outside of that, um, again, it's a little underwhelming, and it's also, once we get it in English, so battle styles, it's going to probably be at least 150 card set. I'm sure it'll be much more than that, because we'll probably include some, more alternate art. We'll probably include some more of like a secret rare vault. Who knows? We may even get a shiny vault. I don't know,
Oh
but
God. Don't start.
it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be a large set list, and my sentiment on that. I don't
Yeah.
particularly like large set lists, but we'll see. We will
I don't know.
see.
I just feel like again they took the recycling dump truck and they brought it back and they're like, back it up, guys. Here we go.
Hmm.
2020. Let's take a couple of cards. Let's reprint them. Let's do this. Guys, you know how we
Hmm.
felt about this last week. We got fired up. I almost knocked the microphone into the camera. Whoever was watching on YouTube. But like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. 2020 was weird. I think 2021 is gonna be exactly the same. I'm not gonna lie, but I still
Hmm.
I want things to happen, but I don't know. Looks like a Lugia trying to flap his wings really hard, and they said let's put a bunch of blue, but it looks cool because it's filling up the whole card. But I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not a I'm
Yeah.
not a super fan of this to tell you the truth.
Well, and I feel like, especially with the fact that they've introduced this new card mechanic, single strike and rapid strike. Man, I can think of a ton of Pokemon that these would have been great for.
Yeah.
Let's start exploring some of the different generations. Like, now I get it. I get that you want to pay most of your focus to the Generation 8 Pokemon. I get that. This is Sword and Shield. This is
Hmm.
Generation 8. Obviously, you want to highlight Pokemon from this generation. But I feel like we rarely ever see a lot of Pokemon from, you know, like Black and White. We don't see a whole lot of Pokemon from Black and White. Um, Not a whole lot of Pokemon from like Gen 3, Diamond and Pearl. like let's start including more of these in here, especially I think when you've got a new mechanic being introduced. I think that's a good time to start to bring some of those fan favorites back. You know what I
I would have
mean?
just brought back
Like,
Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, dude, and just be like rapid
oh, that would,
strike and single
yeah.
strike, and we're done. That's it. Everybody goes crazy. It's very easy. Why you have to put a big giant polar bear just smashing people like with his? I don't know. Like it's so weird. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, that would be great, kind of I mean, they'd be the two perfect Pokemon for it. So okay. So you got Rapid Strike and you got Single Strike. So and you got Hitmonlee and you got Hitmonchan. So who in your opinion is more Single Strike and who is more Rapid Strike?
I think rapid strike would have to be Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee would be single strike because at the end of the day, maybe if you're a professional, but like it's a lot quicker to punch people than to start kicking randomly and so on. So
Mhm.
that's where my brain hit right away when you said that. So
Mhm.
what about you?
Well, unless you're Bruce Lee, then you can pretty much do it all at once. No, I agree with you. I agree. I think Rapid Strike would be more Hitmonchan. Single Strike would be more Hitmonlee.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we think that it's so simple. I feel like it's simple. I don't know. Maybe it's really hard. I guess it's hard. It must be hard. I could imagine, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I never was into marketing and stuff, so I have no idea what goes on there. But
Mhm.
Pokemon's worth 92 billion, so they like
Yeah.
sure they know what they're doing. They're doing what they got to
Yeah.
do, I guess. So
Well, and they could very well just be kind of waiting to release some of the because if you remember, I mean, not that Champions Path was a very good set, but they did wait until, from what I recall, they waited right up until the end to announce those two Charizards because
yep.
everybody was pretty much saying the same thing. Oh my God, like this set looks like trash. And then all of a sudden they announced the two Charizards, and then everybody went crazy. So who knows? They could be doing something similar here. Maybe waiting till a little bit closer to have some of the more top tier cards hit the scene,
Mm, yeah.
play
But
into
then
that
again,
hype a little bit more.
once that hype went away with Champions Path, once you strip away everything and you really sit down and think about it, we spoke about it last week too. It's worth absolutely zero. There's nothing
Oh yeah.
happening there. It's complete bust on from my opinion. And again,
Hmm.
I didn't even hit a Charizard. Like, okay, wow, would have freaked out. You would have freaked out. We got a Charizard, whatever. But overall, oof, very
Yeah.
weak.
Well, the Charizards are already starting to take they're already
Huge
starting to
hit.
take a hit. Yeah. Yeah. I think more now that more product is coming onto the market, and another wave of prints has apparently happened. You're starting to see a lot more people pull those Charizards.
Exactly.
So and you're seeing the prices be affected because of that. So
It's unfortunate,
you
but
know, it is unfortunate, but we've talked about it before in that we both kind of thought that they got that out at the last second to just try to appease people during it was a tough time. It was not much manpower, not much printing power, and they were just I think they were trying to get a set out there um to appease people for the holiday season,
yeah,
in my
exactly.
opinion.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty much that.
but So yeah, so that is pretty much it for the news, guys, which I don't even know if that was technically any news. That was basically just Jules and I just our opinions on this upcoming set, Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master. Now, after that, we have right after Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master. You guys know what's coming up. We've got Shining Fates on the way, which is, again, as of the drop of this podcast, is a little over a month away. But you wouldn't know that. Why, Jules? Because we're not really hearing a whole lot about Shining Fates anymore. And you guys can correct us, if you think differently out there, if you think that Shining Fates is still, pretty hyped up. But from Jules and I perspective, We have not heard much about Shining Fates in the last couple weeks. Not
Hmm.
nearly as much as we were hearing, at the end of 2020 and at the very beginning of this year. Would you
Yeah,
agree, Jules?
definitely. I feel like everybody went on autopilot. They're just like, oh, let me take a nap, at the end of the day. Um, so what is it? Shiny Star V, right? Just Shiny Star V is
Hmm.
the Japanese set. And then again, what did they do? They just, guys, recycle truck, just come back. We're just gonna print them in English now, right? Just get the translator. We're good to go. Um, so they're gonna release that. And I know people are going like exorbitant pricing and crazy stuff. Is like I've heard like pricing craziness, but again, like cutoff was December 18, if I'm not mistaken. December 18, December 19. I said I wasn't gonna pre-order anything. I didn't stick to that. Unfortunately, I pre-ordered one of each item just to say I had it, whatever. But my card shop, we were talking about this off camera too, right? Card shop, he knew exactly his allocation. The 19th of December, the day after cutoff, they told him exactly what he was going to get. And then we also heard that people don't even know what they're getting. So I knew
Hmm.
I'm getting what I have to get. I'll be happy. I'm gonna put everything. I'm do a couple of videos, but other than that, complete radio silence in terms of any hype having to do with this. I personally think again, coming back down, it's gonna guys. I think it's gonna be a heavy on this episode. I'm gonna be like the recycle man, recycle king for this episode. It is what it is, dude. Just take a couple of shiny stars, throw it on the card. Thank you very much. We got a new. No, no, you don't have a new
Hmm.
card. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's again, we there was so much hype, I think, leading up to Shiny Star V and and that release, and we pretty much know what we're gonna have now
Hmm.
for Shining Fates. And I think a lot of people were also disappointed in the fact that that was the placeholder for the 25th anniversary celebration. Because we're coming right up next month is the 25th anniversary for the Pokemon Company. And I think a lot of people, myself included, were hoping for an actual set to commemorate it at the same time. Now we've heard rumors that late this fall that we will have that 25th anniversary set. But like I said, I was really hoping to see that at the same time to be released congruently with the celebration itself. Now, Pokemon Pokemon is the type of company where that celebration that extends all year long. It's like that little brother, that they have their birthday, but that birthday goes all week and into the following week. They just keep getting presents. If you're the older sibling, you know how that is. You were lucky to get one, but the younger sibling, it just continues. That's kind of how Pokemon is. Celebration continues all year long. But as I said, I think for many collectors out there, and people who just enjoy the hobby, they were really wanting to see something specific to the 25th anniversary celebration on that date or close to it. And so I think that also was a factor in kind of diminishing the hype around it, on top of the fact that we pretty much know what's in there based
Hmm.
upon Shiny Star V. Now, I mean, there's still some cards in there that I think will be uh, very valued. That especially that I got to make sure I get all of the points of it. The Rainbow Rare VMAX Shiny Charizard, and I know that's probably not in the right order, but obviously that's going to be the big chase card out of Shining Fates, and I think it'll still hold a good value. Depending on the pull rates, how many people are actually getting that card. But it's a Charizard, so it's pretty much guaranteed to have a higher value than the rest. But beyond that, it's not something that I'm, you know. Now, granted, anytime there's a new set, I'm still going to be excited. But as we said before, I know Jules, he pulled the trigger, so he'll get his 30 lashings after the podcast is over for pre-ordering after our heated conversations
I got it at
last week.
retail. I got it at retail or even better. So I'm good. I'm happy. We stuck to
Oh,
still
okay,
one
okay,
point of it. We're good. I didn't
okay.
pay crazy prices for it.
Just 10 lashings then.
Okay, thanks.
But for me, it's I'm still waiting. I'm just going to still wait until it's released. I think by that point, I think we should have more vast quantity of product out on store shelves than what we saw with previous sets. So I don't think it'll be that difficult to come by. It may, maybe at the very release of it, at the very beginning, might be a little difficult, but I imagine soon thereafter should not be that tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is strange. It's strange that with us being close, that we just haven't really heard anything. And
The hype's probably gonna pick up maybe a week before. I
mhm,
think. And then again, to my defense, the only reason why I did pre-order it is because I knew that we were gonna be in lockdown. So we're in lockdown here. So there's no
mhm,
Walmart open. I can't go to EB Games. I can't go to GameStop, whatever the case. Like I can't go to any of those places. So I needed to lock it down, or else I was getting zero. I'd rather have
mhm,
at least one thing. So that's why I did it. But hype is probably gonna come back a week before. It's just
mhm.
I don't know what it is. It's a weird time right now for Pokemon. So
Yeah,
strange.
yeah. Well, and it's I don't know. I think it's a few different factors. One that I just talked about with I think people were disappointed that we didn't have a specific 25th anniversary set. I think also the fact that it's mashed now between Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master and battle styles. We already know of those. Plus, we already know of sets that are being released later on this year.
Hmm.
We've got what was it? We talked about it last time. We've got the Silver Lance and I'm forgetting the name of the other
Jet Black
Jet
Fire
Black
or something.
Spirit. Jet
Spirit,
Black
that's it.
Spirit. So I it's kind of going back to what we talked about before in that I almost I wish that Pokemon wouldn't put out this information so early. It'd be nice to just find out about these, maybe have the date. Be like, okay, there is going to be a new set. It's going to be released on uh March 19th, but we don't get any information until like 2 weeks before. And we don't know about the next set until the previous one is actually released. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I feel like that would help. But yeah, I just feel like the hype is diminished, and it's probably due to those factors. But
It's
who
probably
knows?
also due to 2020 being so fire from August to end of November, beginning December. Just with
Mm,
everything happening, with the social media of people and these big players entering the market. Maybe it's just we were so used to the glitz and glam that all of a sudden, when that's all taken away and just go back down to the bare basics, you actually kind of realize that as much as it was pumped up, dude.
mhm.
They played a role in the market, and I'm gonna keep coming back to it because the more and the longer we go, I think Pokemon had their hand in the cookie jar, and they said we need to do something. We need to hype it up, and there's a conspiracy happening. I'm telling you, there is. There has to be. It
Well,
just
I
just
think you
died.
yeah, I think you put forth a good point in that, um, it's not it's still popular, but I don't think it's at the height that it was. Oh, I'd say the height was probably the last summer,
Mhm.
maybe around probably August,
Exactly.
maybe a little bit later. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that the popularity has died down a little bit. We're not riding this high wave that we were before, and things might be coming back down to a little bit more of normalcy. So that could definitely be playing into it as well. You don't see as many big name people coming in. I've already heard that a guy like Gary V, he's kind of moving on, looking at other things now. Um,
Exactly. Sports
yeah,
cards and everything. Like he already changed his.
we were talking about Dragon Ball Z earlier. I've heard that he's actually looking into that market as well, into the Dragon Ball Z. Not the I don't think the modern stuff like the Dragon Ball Super. I think he's talking about more of the like the old Dragon Ball Z that was released by Score Entertainment, which I actually these binders back here behind me, which if you're listening on audio, you can't see that, but binders behind me, those are filled to the brim with old Dragon Ball Z Score cards.
Wow.
Tell you what, if they find a market for that, your boy PokeNav might be PokeZ.
He's going to bank with those cards. Let me tell you.
Because man,
He's just
I,
like,
I've got some bangers in there. Like I thought my Pokemon collection was good, but I've got some fantastic Dragon Ball Z cards. So I guess that will have to wait to be seen. But
mm-hmm.
like you were saying, I think a lot of these influencers are kind of moving on to other areas, exploring different avenues. So I think the limelight that was on Pokemon has dimmed a little bit. Now
For
I think
sure.
that we're still set for a big year with it being again the 25th anniversary. I think it's going to put it back in the spotlight, but I think we're just riding a little bit of a trough right now. You're seeing that reflected in prices of cards. I was just talking to another content creator the other day, and we were talking about like sealed product, even WotC era product. We were talking about like I think I've talked about it on here before, the base set unlimited booster boxes. I believe it was back in maybe October of
October.
last
Yeah.
year. They were going for about like 35,000. Now they're down to about 25,000. So it's pretty significant drop. And I think that high wave is kind of plateaued now, and in many cases has come down. And I still think over time we'll see that come back up, trickle back
Mm-hmm.
up. But for right now, we're just riding a little bit of a trough.
That's it. A lot of sailors jump boat. They
Oh
jump
yeah,
ship.
for
and
sure.
and it had a huge impact. I still think that it had a huge impact because those I don't want to use that word. I'm not going to use that word, but um, the followers, because these bigger um influencers brought along followers into the hobby, right? We spoke about it in a couple of podcasts ago. They jumped ship, and it was
Mhm.
only a matter of time, and
Yeah,
that's what's happening, right? It's just coming back down,
and we were
coming back.
calling it too.
It's it exactly. We knew it was happening, so yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which honestly, man, it's kind of nice, to be honest with you. It's kind of nice to, in my opinion, to go back to a little bit more of um the normal way of things, back before kind of like the 2019, kind of feels like maybe 2000, maybe like early 2019 again.
exactly.
At least for right now. Now, it's only a matter of time though, like I said, before it comes back up. But just interesting, something that we wanted to talk about here today. Just guys, we like to give kind of our perspective. Jules and I, we watch the market a lot. We watch, content creators. We listen to a lot of things. We get a lot of insight from a lot of different areas. And so when we start to see like a theme like this, we like to relay it to you guys because for a lot of people out there, they would see something like this and they go, "Oh, that's it. It's over. Bubbles burst. It's all over." So we like to give our perspective on things like this so that you guys have a little bit more of a kind of a well-rounded perspective on things and a little bit more of a down-to-earth type of sentiment. So
Yeah,
and speaking of market, the other topic that we wanted to discuss here today that I think you guys are really going to like is, as I said, Jules and I, we spend a lot of time studying the market, keeping tabs on things. And one of the avenues that that is a good indicator of what the market is like is eBay.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys haven't, if you've been living under a rock, eBay, that's really where you get the heartbeat of the hobby, because that's where you can see day to day transactions, what certain products are selling for, how they've trended. It's a good indication of where things are going. So what we thought might be fun for today would be to discuss what we are searching for on eBay currently. And the way that we thought that we transition into this is go through the last three searches that both of us have had on eBay, and discuss, why we were searching that, what our mindset was around it, and really what our overall goal was in searching those items. So I think this will be a fun topic. It'd be interesting to see like what both of us, have been looking at. So Jules, I will let you take this one
Okay.
first, because I'm very interested to hear.
Very good. Okay, guys. So I go to war every time I go on eBay, right? Because at the end of the day, eBay has a lot of people that is searching on there, and eBay is a very powerful tool when it comes to the online purchasing presence. So, oh man, I don't know. Okay, first things first, it's because we've spoken about this on the podcast. I watched a lot of your videos as well on your personal channel. Banned cards are still on my search list. Matter of
Hmm.
fact, I actually searched them up. Was it 3 days ago from when this is coming out? Okay. And it's Pokemon Japanese banned. That's it. That's what I searched into eBay. And you get the Koga's Ninja Trick, you get the Misty Steers, you get the Grimer, you get what's the other one? She's, Sabrina's Gaze, right? I
Yeah.
think where she's
Hmm.
holding the ball. And there's one more. I know the milk tank has one with like the
Oh, the Moo
nipples
Moo
or
Milk.
some Moo Milk one. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But the ones that I'm really searching for is Koga's Ninja Trick, the Band Grimer, and the Misty Steers.
Hmm.
So, funny story, I actually messaged, it was Z, it was James from Z and
Oh,
G
yeah. Yeah.
Emporium, and I sent him an offer because he had a full set of PSA 9, and I've watched a couple of his videos, and the last two or three videos that he's posted have all been sales, and there's at least one banned card, whether it be a PSA 9 or 10, that he sold from his listings. So I said, you know what? Let me just give it a shot. He was selling them. He was selling it at a really good price. I just wanted to be a bit of a pain, you know. We all like to do that sometimes, maybe, and
Hmm.
just throw in a little bit of a stink bid. So I said, you know what? He's selling it at like $140 or something like that, US. For me, would be expensive because I'm in Canada with the shipping and everything. But besides the point, I said, let me send him an offer at 115. So I took out like 25 bucks. And he came back. He still took out $10, which was really appreciated. I didn't do it because I thought about all the other factors that I had and I decided to pass on it. But it's just funny to see that content creators have the eBay. And when you land on something like this, it hasn't happened to me before. It's the first time it actually happened. I was like, you know what? Let me just check these things. He's had a lot of them and bingo, they're right there. He took the
Hmm.
picture. It was so funny. He put it like on a table mat. It was like an orange table mat on his table or something when he took his photo. And I was like, this is Z. This is Z and G Emporium. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm good with that. It's fine. It was just funny. So I thought I'd share a bit of that with you. The other thing is I had Sabrina's Gengar. That's my second search
Hmm.
down on my list. Sabrina's Gengar has been a card that I've been wanting to get so badly. I don't know what it is. I think it's the purple. Um, the it's at the end of the day, it's pretty plain. It's just Gengar standing there, you know.
Hmm.
But there's something about it that just it tickles my fancy, if you want to say,
Hmm.
and that is on the list. I did not pull the trigger on that, unfortunately. Yet, I want something half decent. I'm not looking for a first edition. It could be an unlimited. It's okay, but I gotta have at least probably a 9. I just wasn't ready to pull the trigger. And finally, the third search is Alakazam. Shad, you know. I think I spoke about it in the first or second podcast. My favorite base base character, base Pokemon is Venusaur, but my favorite card to collect is Alakazam. And Alakazam, I did some damage with Alakazam in the last week or so. And I'm just looking through my purchases here. I picked up a Shadowless PSA 7. Nothing crazy. I could have got an 8, but I was like, let's see what these bids go for. I bought a 7 and I bought a of course, I bought a Pokemon card. Yes. I bought a base set 2 Alakazam as well in a PSA 9. I got them for pretty decent prices. I think they were along what was happening right now, maybe 20 bucks less than what the going rate was for.
Hmm.
But I'm so excited about that Shadowless Alakazam because I have non-graded ones already, and just to have it in that nice case,
Hmm.
very refreshing. So I did a bit of damage, guys, with those Alakazams, but that's pretty much my top three things. And the mission ultimately, as always, is always to buy and find that steal. I think probably what 90% of us go on eBay for that, right? You want to
Hmm.
find a good deal. And again, as easy as it is to just click that button, I'd still rather find everything in person. I think that just goes back to me collecting comic books as well. As you riffle through these comic books and you find that one gem, I'd still rather find it in person, but it is what it is. The pandemic's looming. I'm not going to leave the house, and I can't leave the house actually right now. So
Hmm.
I decided to pull the trigger on those, and that's pretty much been my eBay hunt in the last three searches that I've had on eBay for the last 3 days, let's say.
Okay.
What
Very
about
interesting.
you, my friend?
All right. So for me, mine's a little less enticing, and it's because it really makes sense. And if you've been watching my videos on my channel lately, it'll all make sense. So the number one thing that I've been searching more as a reference is the Japanese Southern Islands collections. Now, the reason being is that I just recently procured a very large allotment of sealed box sets of the Japanese Southern Islands collection. Got it from a great guy. In fact, somebody that is a part of the community over on my channel reached out to me. A really cool story, actually. He was a former card shop owner, and he had some boxes in his garage that he had just forgotten about. You know, he's had his store closed for uh, years now, and came across a box full of these sealed Japanese Southern Islands collections. And what was so fantastic, and what normally, if somebody reached out, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, because I get a lot of inquiries, on a daily basis. But these, and again, if you guys have been watching my videos, you know this, but these have the original Japanese yen price tag on them. And it even has the bin number that all of these box sets originally came in. So that really caught my eye. So on eBay, that's really the main thing that I was researching recently, was looking at what prices were going for, and also graded cards as well. So I got a bunch that I had the full intention of opening and having graded, getting graded to have a complete master set, which I have not seen ever. In the
Hmm.
last couple years, I have never seen a complete master set, graded master set of the Japanese Southern Islands collection. So that was one of my big intentions, was to get those sent in, get those graded. So that was the number one thing, and it makes sense. Getting I was familiarizing myself with prices, and what a lot of these are currently going for, and then also individually graded cards, which are actually um really good right now, as far as value. All of the cards in these sets, even in PSA 9, PSA 8 condition, are going for a good value. And comparatively speaking to the English Southern Island set, they're selling at a deep discount. And that, Jules, I love Japanese cards because
Hmm.
typically they're better quality from the get-go. The printing quality is just better from the get-go, especially WotC era. It's just fantastic. Um, so yeah, that was my number one search. The other thing that the second one was the Sword and Shield Pikachu pre-order promo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it was it was a card that you received when you pre-ordered Sword and Shield. So specifically, I'm looking at the Japanese version of this card. So in Japan, when you pre-ordered the Sword and Shield base set, you got this pre-order promo card. And this was one of the cards that I was recommending from 2020. Technically, it was released, I believe, at the very end of December of 2019, but
Hmm.
it was close enough. But that card is also going for a really good value right now. Um, you know, Promo cards are becoming more and more popular, in my opinion, and especially Japanese promo cards because of a little more exclusive. Um, that's another one that has been on my radar. So that was the other thing that I've been looking at, and then also um, these these two are kind of one and the same. I'll talk about both of them. There's actually four here. Um, the other one was just a general base set near mint search. So basically PSA 7, PSA 8. So just looking at base set, everything from first edition to shadowless to unlimited, looking for cards in the near mint status, because I'm starting to see a trend where there's being placed more of a value on these cards, because PSA 10s, PSA 9s are kind of they're just getting to a point where they're just too expensive for most people. And so they're
Hmm.
naturally moving towards, those lower tiers, PSA 8, PSA 7. So those I've been looking more at getting into. I mean, you yourself said it. The Alakazam that you got PSA 7, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
PSA 7
So
for
I
the
mean,
shadowless. Yeah.
these are still, in fantastic condition. I mean, near mint is still great condition. A lot of the time, maybe some of the imperfections is maybe the centering. Maybe centering's off, so it automatically gets knocked down to a PSA 9. And then maybe you've got a little bit of edge wear, maybe on the back. You don't even notice it on the front. Well, guess what? That knocks it down to a PSA 8. But overall, guys, I mean, the near mint status of these cards is still really, really good, and people are recognizing that. For the longest time, people didn't even recognize PSA 9s. Everybody
Yeah,
just wanted those
exactly.
PSA 10s. And I remember, SM Pratt was calling it for a long time, saying, "Look, these PSA 9 cards are undervalued. They're overlooked." And I feel like we're kind of sitting on the same boat here with near mint cards. And then beyond that, kind of in that same vein, I've been looking at PSA 1 first edition base set Charizards, because a lot of people have been reaching out to me about that, saying, "Hey, I've got a first edition Charizard, um, but it's really beat up. It's pretty beat up." And I've told people, "Hey, look, even that is one of those cards that you get graded no matter what." That'd be
Yep.
like if you had a Pikachu Illustrator card and you're like, it's just too beat up. Now you get that card graded. That is one of those cards that you get graded no matter what. And so that's what I've been looking at. Also, is the first edition base set Charizards. Looking at those in a PSA 1, because I think, again, as these cards become more and more scarce, and the top tier, the PSA 10, 9, 8, 7, you go down, as they are so far out of reach for the vast majority of people still want to have the granddaddy of all cards, for
That's it.
most people, the gold standard. They still want to have it in their collection. They still want to be able to display it, even if it's at that point when it's a PSA 1. It's more or less that you just want the card encapsulated. You want it protected. It's not so much about the quality. It's that you have something that you want saved and you want it encapsulated so that it stays safe.
Exactly.
And so that's where I think a lot of people's mindset is with this particular card, because out on eBay, this card still is going for over $1,000. Sold listings still over $1,000 for a PSA 1 card.
One.
Now, $1,000 is in a much more comfortable price range for most people versus a PSA 10 uh, first edition base set Charizard. So that's kind of where I've been looking, and like I said, some of them make sense, based upon recent videos, which people will understand that. But then others kind of gives you an idea of the way that I like to comb the eBay listings, and
That's it.
what my mindset is on them.
It's funny that you said the 7 and the 8 PSAs, and I picked up a 7. But to your point, not for anything, but you really, you really have to be looking hard and deep to see a difference between a 9 and a 10,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
And so when you go down to the 7 and the 8, okay, the 7 to the 9 or the 10, maybe. I'll give it that, right?
Hmm.
You'll be able to pick it up with the eye. The centering is most likely off somewhere, and there's whitening or scratches on the holographic, right? So those are the three
Hmm.
things that you're looking at most of the time. But between 7 and 8, can you tell the difference after that? Like
Yeah.
that 1 point difference, it's so hard. It's
Yeah.
so hard.
Well, and a lot of people will just focus on having a clean front. So maybe the centering came back perfect, but there's a lot of edge wear or centering issues, but it's all on the back. The
Mhm.
front of the card is in good condition, which, to be honest, if you're having it for a collection, you're displaying the front of the card. Nobody turns the card around and say, "Look at this." Put it up on the mantle. Let's show that Pokeball on the back. Nobody's thinking that. They're showing the front of
Exactly.
the card. So a lot of people do. They focus on the quality of the front of the card, and allow for the imperfections on the back in coming back in that near mint status.
Yeah, which makes sense at the end of the day. I almost wanted to just buy one of each Alakazam, a 1, a 2, a 3, just to say, just because I love him. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. I just love him. I like looking at that card. And to your
Hmm.
point too, the front. Look at my comics. I'm not showing the back of the comic book. I don't care what it is, despite them being high grades. But
Hmm.
nobody cares about the back of the book. It's advertising. Nobody cares about it. It's the front,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, like you said, every to each their own. And at the end of the day, like even let's say I would have paid $50 more than the market, I'm happy with my purchase. I bought what I liked and I'm collecting what I love.
Hmm.
So, and I bought within my means. I didn't go crazy and I didn't go into
Yep.
debt just to buy those two cars or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm happy because collecting is all about being happy with what you have. So that's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. Yep. No, I totally agree with you, man. You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about, hey, frugality or being fiscally responsible, because you're barking up the right tree with me.
There you go. That's cool. I like this. I like this top three search. That's fun. Puts a different aspect. We look into each other's. We let the audience actually look into our personal
Yeah.
visions of what we like and what we're checking for and so on. I think it's cool.
No, I agree with you. I think we might have to make this like a kind of a semi-regular segment, just to
Hmm.
kind of, like you said, give people a little bit of insight on, maybe 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now, like, okay, what are our most recent searches? Because it gives you a pulse on, where we're at as far as our collecting and or journey, our investing journey, or just what's going on, in our lives at that point that is influencing us to search for these particular items. So I,
Exactly.
I think I think this might be a regular segment, and you guys let us know. Let us know if you're watching this on YouTube. Comment down below. Let us know if you'd like to hear this segment featured in future episodes. And if we get some good feedback on it, then we'll discuss it again. It was
That's
fun.
it. Everybody like I watch your videos and I watch your lives and I moderate the lives and it's always this like you have the same types of questions in terms of what should I buy? What should I buy?
Mhm.
Well, look at that. Look, guys, Shad. This is his eBay page. These are his searches. This is what it is, right? So if you have $500, $300, $1,500, whatever the case is, at the end of the day, those three things that Shad has just provided to you, or what I have provided to you as well in terms of searches, they're legit stuff. It's all WotC era stuff. None of us said anything about a modern card whatsoever.
Well, I did have the Pikachu promo, the pre-order promo. Yeah,
it was still a promo card. It wasn't, so we know that you like promo cards. That's where your mindset is at, right? At the end of the day. But other than that, it's old stuff. And as long as you understand that the old stuff will hold the value and it's shown its growth over time, that's the most important thing. And again, just collect what you like.
Yep.
And you'll never go wrong. So that's it. That was fun.
That.
I like
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Hallelujah.
Excellent. Well, guys, I think that is going to do it for this week, for this week's podcast. Again, we truly appreciate all of you, and we will keep you guys updated. We've got some friends of ours that we're considering having on as well. Some other fellow collectors, some other fellow investors, content creators, and again, if you guys know, maybe there's somebody within the community that you'd like to see here on the podcast, and have a good conversation with your boy Jules and I, then let us know. We're open for anybody here on this podcast, because everybody's got a unique perspective and something to share. Other than that, guys, let us know out on social media. If you have any questions that you would like answered on next week's podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then out on all of the podcasting platforms. Do us a favor, leave us a review there, preferably a 5-star review if we deserve it. That helps us climb up the ranks, helps our podcast get broadcast to a wider audience, and we appreciate it ahead of time. Jules, any last comments before we wrap up here, brother?
Yeah. So just to build off of last week, guys, we're still looking. Put them down in the comments. Let us know. Send us an email, whatever it is. Send us what kind of attack you want for that like button or subscribe button. We got a couple of funny ones, like lick the like button, but that's gonna be like a tongue twister, I think. For us to say,
it's a little provocative as well.
I don't even. Maybe we can have another thing with, like, let's go over the attacks. Why would Pokemon is very naughty, just like Disney is naughty. When you get those videos and you see what kind of innuendos they're putting out there, like Ghastly and Gengar and all those guys doing lick attacks and so on. Lick a tongue. What's going on there? But that'll be for another time, guys.
Yeah, that's for the Purveyors After Midnight podcast.
There you go. That would be funny. I think we're gonna have that one as a takeaway for sure. But
yeah. So that might be a topic for next week, guys. But in the meantime, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if you've got an attack in mind, and we will certainly entertain your ideas.
Yes.
All right, guys.
That's it.
From Jules and myself, we will see you all next time right here on the Pokemon Purveyors. You guys take care, be safe, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.